Maybe you are painting for a big tournament, or you just paint because you enjoy painting. Nonetheless, sometimes it happens that you take a look at your model and you go like, man, that sucks. Most of the times this is because you are missing some important knowledge that really no one talks about, because people don't always like to share now, do they? I already talked about some pivotal miniature painting skills in this video here. Today we're gonna dive right in, talking about paint consistency and also developing the right sensibility to how the paint feels under the brush. No more yapping, let's jump to the chase and do a demo, shall we? I'm gonna put some reds on my palette from different brands. I think you might know at this point that the hard thing about paint consistency is that there is no recipe for it. That's because each brand of paint is different. Different qualities and different finishes and yada 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 yada. Another important factor is how old your paint is. Just take a look at this red from Citadel. They're pretty old, so they have this very goopy consistency. Consequently, they will behave differently on the palette when I mix them, especially compared to other brands. Like always, on my wet palette, I will put down my colors and then I will add a drop of water, just a single drop of water, so I can add small amounts at a time from there. The main goal of this exercise is, like I said before, developing a feel to the paint consistency. It's very fascinating and interesting to see how our brain learns new things. Every time we develop a new skill, it's like we're adding a filter on how we see and perceive reality. So at the beginning, you might not feel the difference between the paint straight out of the pot and a layer consistency paint. But the more you'll train by focusing on this exercise every time you put down a color on your palette, you will learn to understand this difference no matter how small it is. Moreover, using different brands will allow you to test how the various formula feel. Some brands are more thinned out, like for example Vallejo Game Color. Others are more thick, like Scale 75 Artist Line, and they need more water. And some others, they're pretty much perfect the way they are. And that's AK Interactive, of course. And the final mix has to flow smoothly, without taking into consideration how much water did you add, because some brands are, well, better. And here you can clearly see the difference between when the paint runs smoothly and when it doesn't, because it creates this weird streaks. So be aware of those as a sign that your paint isn't thinned out enough. In time, you will develop the motor skills and sensibility to know quicker and quicker how the perfectly diluted paint feels under the brush. And this will allow you to start applying opaque base coats that will save you a lot of time. No thin coats, because f Duncan in particular. Finally, I dare to say that miniature painting takes a bit of time and practice, at least at the beginning. And there are no good ways to cut corners, it's just time invested. There is one more pivotal skill that I want to share with you all, but there is no more time, so I guess you'll have to subscribe. See what I did there?